Good morning and welcome to Living Local 15. Thank you so much for joining me today. First up, Elite Soft Wash joins me in studio to share the difference between a soft wash and pressure wash and how they offer those services for both residential and commercial properties. Then it's Mental Health Matters with Viking Psychiatry, and Dr. Oyer joins us in studio to share about Mosaic Journeys and how she specializes in eating disorder therapy. Then it's epic discounts at epic prices. Are you ready? Let's get started.
Fashion, food, and fun. You're watching Living Local 15 with your host, Jessica Williams.
This segment sponsored by Elite Soft Wash. Elite Soft Wash is a pressure washing service for all surfaces on your exterior, whether it's residential or commercial properties. And one thing that's so important to them is that they are so committed to your happiness. And so joining me today is their owner, Brandon Metzger, and he's going to share more about their services. Hello.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, so pressure washing is such an interesting thing that I know so many people utilize, like I said, for residential and for commercial properties. Yeah. So start off by kind of giving us an overview and perhaps a little background about why you started your service.
Yeah, so kind of with our company and how we started was we have two young men who work for us, which are our boys. And a few years ago when we really started thinking about branding our business and moving forward with more of a full-time thing and really wanted to just get in the community and help out. So we thought about let's go down this road. Everybody needs help cleaning their property. Businesses need cleaned, and everything always is just getting dirty, and someone needs to really take initiative to where we can provide a professional service for them and do a great job, have great customer service, and why not make a family-owned business out of it and go down that road. So yeah, that's where we started with Elite Soft Wash.
Okay, and so I have to know, like a big question I have is how high up have you cleaned these buildings?
Yeah, so one really cool thing with like our soft washing system is we can actually wash most properties and buildings, even commercial buildings, from the ground 4 to 5 stories up. So like with pressure washing, you have to get really close to the surface. So you would have to have like a lift or a ladder or something like that. With the soft washing, our pump system will actually shoot up 4 or 5 stories. So that's about as high as we've done. We have rented a lift before where we done one huge commercial property, which was probably about 100 feet in the air. And so that was pretty interesting too.
Okay, so let's break down the difference between the two different washes. So what is soft wash?
Yeah, so soft washing, what it is a low pressure system where instead of using high pressure to clean the surface, we're using a cleaning solution and all low pressure. And so basically why we want to do that is anytime that you use a pressure washer on your house or surface, whatever it may be, it can cause water intrusion, it can cause damage to your siding, damage to your screens, windows. And so soft washing simply is a low pressure cleaning system that we have. And we basically apply a cleaning solution to the surface, and that really helps break down all the green algae, dirt, mold, stubborn stains. And then we low pressure rinse everything.
So in what instance would a pressure washer be appropriate?
Yeah, so a lot of times for certain surfaces, we will use a pressure washer. So obviously we clean a lot of concrete, and that we're going to use a pressure washer on because concrete's very durable, it's tough, it's going to hold up. Certain homes that have like brick finishes or stone finishes, we're going to use pressure on. But for the most part, any type of like wood surfaced home, painted home, vinyl home, anything like that, we're going to use that low pressure soft washing. So, yeah.
And so typically when I think about this type of washing, you think about the residential side, or rather the commercial side, because businesses utilize the services to clean their buildings in and out. But on the residential side, let's talk more about that, because people can just call you up to clean their homes, right? To clean the outside of their concrete, like you said. So let's talk about how that's utilized to give some new ideas to how your business can actually serve them.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's all kinds of services that we do for the residential community. Obviously, one of the big thing is like house washing in general. You know, everybody, you drive around your neighborhood, you see houses with green algae growing all over the side of them. It looks bad, and it just constantly comes back. And so instead of you wasting a whole day or a weekend, dragging your pressure washer out and having to do that and work off of ladders, which is dangerous, we come out, take care of everything for you. When we do a house wash, I mean, we're washing your gutters, your soffits, your siding, and the nice thing is it just totally renews your home, gives it a new feeling, and then you don't have to worry about, having the right equipment, whether your pressure washer is going to work, falling off of a ladder, and we do it start to finish. We guarantee all of our services, and one nice thing too with soft washing is it will last about 2 to 3 years, so it really lasts a lot longer than just pressure washing, because we're using a cleaning solution that treats for algae, mold, moss, and those sorts of things as well. So yeah.
Yeah, you make a really good point about the different types of damages that can happen from using the wrong wash or the wrong pressure. And that's why an expert is important, because people, they cherish their homes and they invest in them, and they don't want to damage it. So that's good. Do you all offer consults, or how do you get started with working with you all?
Yeah, so it's pretty simple. We're just a phone call away, a text away, a message away. We have a great website, very informative there. There's a form you can fill out. It sends us all the information that we need. So 99% of the time, all of our quotes are done remotely. So we have a GPS mapping system where we can simply pull your property up. It gives us all the measurements, the layout, the pictures, everything that we need to provide you with an accurate quote. And so a lot of times if you inquire about a quote, we will respond within 5 to 10 minutes. And within, an hour, we can have you an instant quote and get you scheduled into our system to take care of you without stepping foot on your property. There are circumstances, and we're more than happy to come out, do a walk around with you at your place if you're more comfortable to meet us in person and see exactly what you might be concerned with, and we do that as well.
Okay, and right now, are you offering any type of specials?
So we do have some great promotions running right now. Currently, we are doing our house washes, which is our complete exterior soft wash package. So that does gutters, soffits, all your siding to foundation, starting at $195.
Okay,
so that's a really good rate for an entry-level wash. So that's something that we do have running currently.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much, Brandon.
Yeah, you bet.
It was a pleasure.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having us on.
And if you would like more information about Elite Soft Wash, we'll have their website listed below, and I'll see you after the break. This segment sponsored by Elite Soft Wash.
Have an idea for the show? Want to find out how you can be a guest? Contact us at livinglocal15@wayne.com.
This segment sponsored by Viking Psychiatry. Welcome back to Mental Health Matters with Viking Psychiatry. Today I am joined by Sean Goddard, who is the Viking owner and also a special guest as we continue to expound upon this conversation of mental health. I'm so pleased to have Dr. Laura Oyer with us today. Hello, doctor.
Hello
Hello,
there.
Sean.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's start off by just kind of learning a little bit about you. Tell me about your practice and how long you've had it here in Fort Wayne.
Yeah, so I'm Dr. Laura Oyer. I am a psychologist, and I've had the practice. I opened it in June 2024, so it's a relatively new practice, and I've specialized in eating disorders and trauma.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay, and so you help a range of folks, I'm assuming, from all ages probably suffer from those types of conditions. And so what made you be inspired to want to open up a facility like this?
So when I was in grad school, I had the opportunity to do a residential treatment internship where I got introduced to eating disorders, and it really inspired me because these individuals, they would come in and they would have such struggles, right, in their relationship with food and body. And to get to see them in a matter of months just kind of transform into these amazing, bright, colorful, intuitive individuals was just inspiring to me. And so that really set me off on kind of a career trajectory to learn more about this disorder and how to help these individuals. And along the way, I really discovered that underneath a lot of the eating concerns are traumas or various traumatic events or overwhelming events for people. And so that also got me very interested in exploring different kinds of treatments for that population.
Yeah, that's very interesting. I can't wait to dive in deeper. But Sean, I'm going to go to you for a second because I know this was important for you to open up this conversation and to really bring attention to other mental health providers in this community. So why is that?
Absolutely. Well, I mean, Dr. Oyer and I share a few clients, and through the time that I've been in Fort Wayne and sharing clients with her, I see what an amazing provider she is to her clients. And you know, a lot of practices, when they look at advertising, it's all about growing their business. And I've said from the very beginning that our goal at Viking Psychiatry is help to reduce the stigma, break down barriers, and provide access. And so when I see an amazing provider like Dr. Oyer who's available, I want to make sure that people are connected and aware, because it's not just about what we at Viking Psychiatry can do for people, but what we as a community are able to do to make change in people's lives. And so I was excited to be able to extend the invitation to her and have her here with us today.
Yeah, I absolutely love that. And this is a different topic that we're diving into because we haven't spoken about eating disorders and really what your specialty is. So I'm curious about your journey. Like, what inspired you to really pursue this career path, and kind of talk to me about your early process in education to get to this point.
So my undergraduate degree is actually in elementary education, so I thought I wanted to work with little ones.
Yeah.
And when I was doing my student teaching, right, you know, last year of college, there was this little guy that I was working with, and for me I kind of really didn't understand some of the struggles that were happening at home. But as I got to know him, I realized that, you know, as much as I think teachers are amazing and we absolutely need them, I clearly love education. It just felt for me personally that that was getting in the way of really what I wanted to do, which was kind of really getting to know these people as individuals and the struggles that's going on, you know, behind the scenes. And so that kicked me off over to exploring counseling. And so then I decided that when I got my master's degree, I didn't feel like it was quite enough. I didn't feel like I was prepared or ready to really go out and help people. So I pursued my PhD in counseling psychology, and that was just wonderful. I got so many great connections. I did it at the University of Northern Colorado, and so got to explore the country and live in a whole different part of the world, which was lovely. And just kept exploring and studying eating disorders as a specialty, and then also some different other areas that are connected to psychology. But I just kept pursuing that and really enjoyed it.
Yeah, and so what have you learned through your experience about some of the challenges that people really do face? And sometimes they're not actualized, right? Sometimes they have issues and they need that help of discovering them. And what are the best treatment methods that you have experienced?
You know, I really do integrate a lot of different things, just kind of like if someone's building a house, they use lots of tools, right? There's not just one particular tool. And for me, I think having a really large tool bag is important because every person is unique. And I think about, you know, whether they're coming in with depression or trauma or eating disorders or anxiety, it's like a puzzle, right? There's a lot of different pieces to it. And so each piece may need a unique tool. And so the predominant ones, but again, not maybe for everyone, I use a lot with attachment and interpersonal theory and therapy. So looking at those early life experiences with caregivers and how that impacts how somebody sees themselves, how it impacts how they see others, how it impacts how they view the world around them. Is it safe? Is it not? And so really looking at that, looking at relationships and, you know, how easy or hard are relationships for individuals, because that relationships obviously impact our mental health so much.
Right.
I also use a lot with trauma, so EMDR and CPT, cognitive processing therapy, are two I utilize a lot. And then also IFS, or internal family systems. And so that's probably one that I use a lot, where really looking at the parts of ourselves and that we all have this really good core inside of us, and that we have a core self that is good.
Yeah.
And there's these different parts that have, you know, developed over the years that try to keep us safe, but sometimes the way they do that kind of causes more problems. And so kind of working to help people, we call more self-leadership, kind of get people more connected to the good core within them that's compassionate and kind, and really helping them change the relationship with themselves with these parts, and that often ripples out to changing relationships externally.
I love that, because people have to be open. Sometimes they set up defense mechanisms or sometimes try to protect themselves from that growth, and you cannot do that because you're hindering yourself from that process, right? And so do you have some type of success story or some type of breakthrough moment in your career working with someone that really did make you want to continue what you're doing even more?
You know, I feel like working with complex trauma and eating disorders, success to me is measured very in little tiny increments. And so I think about, yes, I do have, clients I've worked with where they've gone on to even become therapists and even working and making meaning out of, their struggles, which has been amazing to watch. But to me, I think about it, what gets me up and makes me excited is when I get to work with a client and we come to session and they say, I reached out for support this weekend. I was struggling, and instead of grabbing maybe my old coping tools that, don't really serve me well anymore, I was able to reach out to a friend or a family member and say, hey, I need some help today. And to me, we celebrate that. I do a little victory dance sometimes. Or if they're able to, maybe try something going out and being in public, meeting new people, if that's really hard for them. So to me, I think about success just in these little tiny small increments, because a lot of these individuals I'm working with for years sometimes. And so we have to measure success small because, we can look back and then look and say, wow, there's been so much growth. So I don't know if there's like one story that really stands out, but just each day looking for those glimmers of change that I think really can, over time, create such significant change in someone's life.
Which we all should practice small wins. And Dr. Laura, I need to see that victory dance. What did it look like? Yes. And so, Sean, how do your two practices really work best together in cohesive providing the Fort Wayne community?
One of the things that I really push for at Viking is collaboration, and there's not a lot of that going on in this world today. You have all these different providers that are involved, whether it's in primary care, specialties, etc. But especially when it comes to mental health, there can be so many people that are part of that team, and often those sides aren't talking, right? They're not communicating. And one of the things that we're able to do well is communicate together in regards to the clients when that's needed. And I think that's very important, because getting everybody on board, right? Everybody on board with a plan or an idea, right? And I'm not perfect, right? And I'm constantly learning. And so for me to be able to reach out to Dr. Oyer and say, we have this mutual client and this is a concern that I have. What are your thoughts? How could I approach this, right? And feel welcome to be able to do that and to communicate as a team is very important, especially in an environment that sometimes can not only be judging for the client themselves, but also the providers that are involved in care. So.
Awesome. Well, thank you both so much for coming in and chatting with me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And if you would like more information about Viking Psychiatry or Mosaic Journeys, we'll have their websites listed below, and I'll see you after the break.
This segment sponsored by Viking Psychiatry.
Follow us on social media at Living Local 15.
Welcome to Epic Discounts by BestReviews.com. I'm Melissa Bergamini.
And I'm Jacob Palmer.
Be sure to take out your phone and scan the QR code on your screen so you can save on some amazing products, including home upgrades that will deliver some daily joy. First up, the Neretva bread maker. So if you've ever dreamed of warm homemade bread at the push of a button, of course you have, then this is for you.
Well, isn't it everyone's dream to have that delicious bread smell throughout your house? And with settings from everything from classic white bread to gluten-free, plus options for jam making, it's like having a personal bakery right at home. Just add your ingredients, choose your crust, and let the machine do the rest. And there's no better way to prep for the week ahead, especially when you don't have to do that much work.
Yeah, you're speaking my language. Also, no kneading, no guesswork, just fresh, delicious bread anytime you want. Sounds good to me. Next, let's talk about the Rock Tumbler Kit. Jacob, I have to hear about this.
Well, this is something that I hope people can discover because it's always such a popular gift. It's a fun, hands-on way to turn rough stones into polished gemstones so you can collect them, you can wear them, or you can gift them. This kit combines creativity with science, and it's perfect for kids and adults alike. With everything you need included, just load it up, turn it on, and watch the transformation. And Alyssa, it is so satisfying to see what comes out of it.
Yeah, you said that best. It is satisfying, it's educational, as well as exciting too. Now let's upgrade your morning with the Nespresso Verturo by Pop Plus Deluxe by DeLonghi.
Well, this sleek machine brews rich, creamy coffee or espresso with just one button. It reads each capsule to deliver the perfect cup every time. Absolute must-have, must-use every morning in my house, and also a darling of the Best Reviews testing lab.
Yes, it is a staple in my house as well. So, hey, say goodbye to coffee shops because this is your new at-home cafe. And last but not least, the Levoit Sprout Air Purifier.
It's compact and quiet. It's ideal for any room where clean air matters. And with a true HEPA filter, it captures dust, allergens, pet dander, and smoke, helping you breathe easier and sleep better, which we know is so important for people's health.
It covers a little bit of everything. It is simple to use. It also fits so beautifully into your space without getting in the way. Let's get a look at all 4 products one last time, helping you bring more comfort, creativity, and quality to everyday life. Take out your phone and scan the QR code on your screen and get ready to scan, shop, and save with epic discounts by Best Reviews.
Best Reviews is owned by our parent company, Nexstar. You can find more on the products and where to buy them on WANE.com.
Living Local 15, proudly driven by the Kelly Automotive Group. Go to the Living Local 15 page on WANE.com for recipes from the show, to watch a segment again, and to get information on products and services featured on Living Local 15. Content segments during today's Living Local 15 were paid for by these sponsors.